Some say, on Halloween night, if you go past 7 black gates, you will see the 7 gates of hell. I thought this was a myth at first until I tried it out. I went past 7 black gates around my neighborhood. Then I went to sleep. My dreams were in a furious fire. Then it stopped. There was a man, tall and bulky. His eyes were rather squinted, which shows he was old. His legs and hands were thin, and he looked like he can barely support his own weight. He spoke. He spoke with a scratchy and dying tone. He said, "Imoku, od et neves setag for elle." He chuckled and opened the gate. My whole body became numb. Moving on its own, I could not fight it. Struggling didn't work. I gave up trying to fight it and struggling. Without control, I went past the first gate. I saw fire, showing the corpses that were horribly mutilated, desecrated, and burnt. They were sobbing so loudly that I couldn't hear the crackles of the fire. One came to me with one eye and bullet holes all over him. He said, "We are the desecrated corpses. We did not get a proper burial. We all stay here till the judgment day." I went past him onto the second gate. It was in a building. Gate number 2. I was in a dungeon. There were people tied up, screaming in pain. One was being sawed very slowly, and his body kept healing, ready to be sawed again. One was in the Iron Maiden, with the door being closed and opened, and the body looked as normal as ever. A man in an executioner's mask said to me, "We are the tortured by our own devices." I went past him to the exit. I walked to the third gate. Gate number 3. This time, I was in a forest. This time, it was silent except for a few yells and screams. There was a man hanging on a noose. Another one fell off a cliff, reappeared, and fell off again. I was running. Away from what I saw was a horribly burnt woman chasing after me. I already knew what this one was. These were the people who committed suicide. I ran to the 4th gate. It was in a palace. Gate number 4. I was in there. I saw emperors, politicians, and really wealthy people. An emperor was being gnawed on by lions. When the lion ripped a limb out or slashed him, the part grew right back out. The politician was being beaten by what looked like shadows in the prisoner's clothes. A man in a suit came to me and he said, "We are the corrupted people. The people who used our power to help ourselves and not the people." I walked to the next gate. The 5th. Gate number 5. I was in another room. There was a man tied up on a bed, lashed by floating, spiky leather whips. A woman was being burnt by a lighter, but her screams and cries were muffled by a cloth that was used as a gag. A rather large man came up to me and said, We are the rapists, the sex offenders, paying for our crimes on earth." I ran to the 6th gate. Gate number 6. I was in a room again. I saw a man and a woman being stabbed, their wounds healing almost immediately. Another person was being buried alive. Another being hit and jabbed with a floating metal bar. I knew they were the people who are murderers, being harmed the way they killed their victims. The exit was the 7th gate. The final one. This nightmare is almost over. It's almost over, I said to myself. I was outside. There was a man wearing a shroud over his head, coated with explosives. He blew up, regenerated, and blew up again. Another one was being beaten, stabbed by sharp metal objects, and burnt by torches, lighters, and matches. They were held by people who looked like shadows. One of them came to me and said, "They are the mass murderers, the terrorists, and the suicide bombers. I am a shadow of one of his victims, beating him and taking revenge for killing us on Earth." Then I ran to the exit. When I woke up in the morning, I became horribly frightened and scared. The images of what I saw ran through my head. In fact, that was all I was thinking for the whole year. It became Halloween again. I didn't dare go outside at night. I just went right to bed. It took me a while to sleep. When I did, I was in front of the first gate of hell. There was a teenager, like me. He was staring at me. He was shocked to see me. Then my body became numb. I could not control myself again. I said to him, in a scratchy, dying tone, "Welcome to the 7 gates of hell." I chuckled and opened the gate for him. After he went inside with an expression that looked like he was fighting something and struggling, I looked at myself on a goblet filled with what looked like blood. I saw the gatekeeper. I became the gatekeeper. In fact, I am the gatekeeper.